were my chosen way of life. With God-fearing people I chose to strive. For all of the lives that are taken, they can never be replaced. But still Jaja chose to remember my face. Though I never lived like he wanted, I'm still mindful of what he taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bending knees. God, Father, you rescued me. I've got the scars to show. I barely made it a long life's road. Cause when my life got dark, he was the only spark. He was the light at the end of the road. When I was a young boy, growing up in Augustown, we ate from the same pot. We were Indians all around. From Gola to Colorado Corner, from Rockers to Jungle 12 Tire, Bryce Hill to Dread Heights and River, all around. And then the football ground became a battlefield, and my life seemed so surreal. People were falling all around, but Jah helped me to stand my ground. Only Jah could have helped me to stand my ground. Though I never lived like he wanted, I was mindful of what he taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bending knees. Cause Father, you rescued me, and I've got the scars to show. Barely made it a long life's road.
Big environment where people say, Lord Jesus Christ, turn down the noise. Fast forward to today, and here we are at UWI, hosting a full academic event about it. So clearly, dancehall didn't just enter the classroom. It run in, and it take it over. It's not just extracurricular. It's core syllabus. 20 years later, that insight has only deepened. Dancehall has transcended borders and shaping global culture, continuing to serve as a living archive of our people's experiences, struggles, creativity, and voice. From Kingston to TikTok, from sound system to streaming, the thing global, it not normal. This evening program reflects the richness. It brings together scholars, practitioners, artists, and students in a space where intellectual reflection meets cultural performance, where theory meets rhythm and vibes meets analysis. Tonight, we honor the intellectual legacy of Donna Hope while also celebrating the vibrant, ever-evolving culture that continues to inspire her work and all of us. So whether you are a scholar, an artist, a student, or simply a lover of Jamaican culture, I invite you this evening to engage fully, reflect deeply, and celebrate unapologetically. No sidelines tonight, full participation. And just a quick note, because people start to ask, looking at the program, you'll realize that it is not a quick line. In fact, it's a whole event. So, settle in, stay engaged, no early exit, whole of vibes till the end. Welcome to Inna the Dancehall at 20. To bring greetings is Miss Christine Randall. She is the director from the UWI Press. Make her welcome. Thereafter coming from the Institute of Caribbean Studies will be Dr. Dennis Howard, sitting in for Dr. Dave Goss, who is the director of that institute. Make them welcome. Yes. So, okay, as she comes, give her more vibe again. So clap her.
Thank you very much, MC Ben. As the University of the West Indies Press, it is our distinct privilege to celebrate 20 years of Inna the Dancehall by Donna Hope, a book that exemplifies the very best of what scholarly publishing can achieve. We not only celebrate a book, we honor a work that has moved deliberately and unapologetically between two worlds. Inna the Dancehall stands as a powerful example of what it means for scholarship to meet culture where it lives. At the UWI Press, our mission has always been to publish scholarship that matters, work that is rigorous but relevant, grounded in research, yet attuned to the realities of the Caribbean and its global diaspora. Inna the Dancehall embodies that mission. It bridges the space between academia and popular culture without compromising either. And in doing so, it invites a broader audience into conversations that might otherwise remain confined to academia. Dancehall, as we know, is not just music. It is language, it is fashion, it is performance, it is resistance, it is aspiration, a dynamic cultural force that shapes and reflects society and issues of identity, power, gender, and aspiration. Inna the Dancehall captures this complexity and gives us the tools to understand not only the culture itself, but the broader social realities from which it emerges, questions of class, gender, power, and agency. For us as a publisher at UWI Press, Though this book represents something more, it signals what is possible when we trust Caribbean voices to interpret Caribbean realities on our own terms. It demonstrates that our cultural expressions are not just peripheral to scholarship, they are central to it. And it reminds us that when academic books engage meaningfully with popular culture, they don't lose authority, they gain relevance, they gain reach, and the all popular word these days, impact. When we support work that is both intellectually rigorous and culturally resonant, we expand the reach and the impact of knowledge. We affirm that our stories, our cultural forms, and our ways of knowing are worthy of deep engagement and global attention. Thank you. 20 years on, the significance of this work in the dancehall has not faded. If anything, it has grown. The conversations around dancehall, its influence, its contradictions, its global reach have only intensified. And this book remains a foundation upon which so much subsequent scholarship and public discourse has been built. The University of the West Indies Press joins the chorus of congratulations to Professor Hope for this remarkable contribution, and we reaffirm our commitment to publishing work that speaks with equal power, clarity, and cultural resonance. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Wagwan popcorn. It's dancehall, so you know we have to do it that style. Donna, this event could not have happened without people like Lloyd King Jammy James. And of course, the amazing, where am they? Jack Sauer. Jesus, man. Jack Sauer, the man of the moment. This is one of the men who put video to dancehall culture. Yeah, let's hear it for Jack Sauer. Okay, good evening, everyone. How wanna do? All right, Professor Hope and Professor Cooper. It's my distinct pleasure on behalf of Dr. Goss to welcome you to this special celebration marking the 20th anniversary of Professor Donna P. Hope's landmark publication, Inner the Dancehall. Tonight is more than a commemoration of a book. It is a recognition of a major intellectual intervention into the study of Jamaican popular culture, dancehall, gender, identity, class, performance, and the lived realities of our people. When Inner the Dancehall entered the public and academic space, it helped to shift the conversation. It insisted that dancehall was not merely entertainment, not merely noise, not merely controversy, but a serious cultural text worthy of deep scholarly attention. Professor Hope's work opened doors. It gave students, researchers, cultural workers, policymakers, artists, sound system man, video man, nobody ready for the video light yet, and the wider public a language through which a better understanding of the dancehall space could be imagined. It examined the tension, contradictions, creativity, resistance, sexuality, style, and the survival strategies embedded in dancehall culture. In doing so, it helped to legitimize an area of Jamaican life that had often been dismissed, misunderstood, and viewed only through the lens of moral panic, aka the Noise Abatement Act. For the University of the West Indies and the wider Caribbean intellectual community, this publication stands as part of a broader project, the serious study of ourselves. It reminds us that the academy must not stand apart from the people. Remember, we must not stand apart from the people, but must listen to the street, the sound system, the dance, the studio, the community, and the voices that shape our national and regional imagination. Tonight, we honor not only the book, but also the scholar behind it. Professor Hope has been courageous, consistent, committed to her work. She has helped to carve out a space for dancehall studies, popular culture studies, and cultural analysis rooted in Jamaican experience. Her scholarship reminds us that culture is not peripheral. It is the culture jackass. They always say it's the economy stupid, but we say it's the culture jackass. And it's not peripheral to our development. It is central to how we understand power, belonging, aspiration, and identity. To Professor Hope, we say congratulations. Big up yourself, dancehall queen. Your work has inspired generations of students and scholars, including myself. It has challenged assumptions, expanded the boundaries of Caribbean cultural studies, and affirmed the importance of taking Jamaican popular culture seriously on its own term. To our guests, colleagues, students, artists, friends, and members of the wider cultural community, welcome. Your presence here signals the importance of this historic moment and the continuing relevance of this work. May tonight's celebration be one of reflection, appreciation, lively conversation, and renewed commitment to the study and preservation of Jamaican culture in all its complexity. Thank you, welcome, and enjoy the evening.
The book, In the Dancehall, normally fetching quite a high price. But for tonight, there is a discounted price that the publishers will be offering. So for $3,920, you can have that book. So make sure that you get a copy as soon as you can, and we will give you some ideas about how that is possible during the course of the evening. Also, we have brought some treasures with us. So there are some giveaways here. And we're going to be giving those out at a certain point during the program. So what is in the treasure box? There is a copy of Inna the Dancehall. There's a copy of Reggae Stories. There's a copy of Dancehall Queen. There's a copy of Chicken Back Gravy. All right, some people may want that already. I can't tell you when you're gonna get it. So just be vigilant. Hold on there. There are 4 VIP passes to Bunny Striker Lee Museum tour. Right? So all of those are up for grabs. And the first one is going. And I'm going to give you an easy start to gain one of these treasures. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, this event celebrates 20 years of Inna the Dancehall. But what does the At 20 represent? This year celebrates 20 years of Inna the Dancehall. But what does At 20 represents? If you can tell me that, one of these books will be yours. So I am awaiting that response. Is there a hand going up? Everybody look puzzled. Whoa. Oh, should I repeat the question? This event celebrates 20 years of Inna the Dancehall. The answer is there, you know. But what does the At 20 represent? Yeah. No, we want a particular word with the 20. Huh? 20th anniversary. Who said that? Over here. Okay. The 20th anniversary. Yeah, of the book. That's English language for you. Right? So, who is that person who I heard that voice? Okay, 2 hands over there, I heard one voice. Okay, come forward. Prof Hope, as she comes, could you just present her with the book, Reggae Stories? Oh, you want, should we, listen. All right. I can't promise if that the others are going to be easy, but I'll try. I'll try. I won't play any more semantics with the language. I'll try to see if I can just ask you a question. We are now at the remarks from the Honorable Olivia Babsy Grange, rather. She's the Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. And doing so, deputizing for her is Mr. Philip Clark. Please make him welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Why not sound tired? Good evening, everyone. Good evening. All right. I bring greetings, as was said before, on behalf of Honorable Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Minister Grange. She is unavoidably absent and sends her greetings to Professor Hope and the team at the University of West Indies. It is a pleasure to join you both in person and in spirit for Inna the Dancehall at 20 Legacy, Culture and Living Archive. Because tonight is not just an anniversary. This is a celebration of a movement, a sound, a space, a way of life. 20 years ago, Inna the Dancehall stepped forward and said something that many people were not ready to hear. That dancehall is not just vibes, it is voice. It is identity, it is power. Dancehall is where ghetto youths turn struggle into style, where language bends and remixes itself into poetry, where fashion, music, and attitude come together to tell Jamaica's story, raw, real, and unfiltered. And let's be honest, long before the world started studying dancehall, we were living it. From sound system culture to the global stage, dancehall has always been one of Jamaica's strongest cultural forces. It influences music, fashion, slang, and lifestyle across continents. And yet, for years, it was misunderstood and sometimes pushed to the margins. So the work we honor tonight did something important. It said, take dancehall seriously. Not just as entertainment, but as a legitimate space of knowledge, creativity, and cultural expression. And today, we are seeing the results of that shift. Dancehall is now central to conversations about the creative economy. It is a driver of jobs, entrepreneurship, and global cultural exchange. It is a key pillar in how Brand Jamaica shows up on the world stage. As a ministry, we recognize that this culture, our culture, is not something to be sidelined. It is something to be invested in, protected, documented, and celebrated. And Minister Grange would want us to know that coming on stream this year is something called the Cultural Development Fund, which will serve many purposes, but relevant to tonight, it will help to fund dancehall events, and of course, entrepreneurial ventures within that space. And also, the ministry is collaborating with universities across Jamaica to start an institute which will have a curriculum which will be inclusive of dancehall, and many of the books that Professor Hope has written will be in the reading archive. That is why a living archive like this is so critical, because if we don't tell our stories and preserve our spaces, somebody else will tell it for us, and not always the right way. So tonight, we celebrate the scholars, yes, but we also celebrate the selectors, the producers, the artists, the dancers, the promoters, the whole ecosystem that keeps dancehall alive and evolving. To all who have carried this culture forward, respect is due. And as we mark 20 years of this groundbreaking work, we also look ahead, because dancehall is not static. It is always becoming, always shifting, always creating something new. So the question is not just where we've been, but where we're going next. So on behalf of Minister Grange, I give thanks for the work, the legacy, and the vision, and I wish for you all a powerful and uplifting evening. Thank you.
At two ends of the continuum, I thought I'd give myself some trouble. So at two ends of the continuum, you have church over one end and you have dancehall over the other. Shouldn't be so, but such it is. And I've always wondered why is such a difference? Because they're actually quite similar, you know. When I think of like testimony in church, it's almost the same thing, you know, in dancehall, but we probably call it, you know, narrative of lived experience. But it's really the same struggle, just different microphone. So it's interesting sometimes how we have separations, because really and truly we are always so similar. This time we have an entertainer who is performing for us, and his name is Sahi. Make him welcome. Is he here? If not, we'll jump quickly to the introduction of the guest speaker. I'm sure in time we'll get to him. This is a UWI student coming to make this presentation or the introduction. Make welcome Kean Roberts.
So good evening. Caroline Cooper. Caroline Cooper is Professor Emerita of Literary and Cultural Studies, the University of the West Indies, Mona, Jamaica. She is the author of two influential academic books, Sound Clash, Jamaican Dancehall Culture at Large, 2004, and Noises in the Blood, Orality, Gender, and the Vulgar Body of Jamaican Popular Culture, 1993. She is the editor of the award-winning essay collection Global Reggae, 2012. In the 1990s, Cooper wrote a weekly bilingual column for the Jamaican Observer on a wide range of contentious issues such as race, class, and gender politics. From 2009 to 2024, she was an equally controversial columnist for the Sunday Gleaner. For her outstanding work in the field of education, she was awarded the national honor, the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander in 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, happy am I to introduce Professor Emerita Caroline Cooper.
Thanks for that warm introduction. I am delighted to have been asked by Professor Hope to formally participate in this celebration. After 2 decades, in the dancehall, popular culture, and the politics of identity in Jamaica, remains in print. That is no small accomplishment. It is a classic. The longevity of the book is a powerful affirmation of the high quality of the academic work Donna did so long ago. In my blurb for the first edition of the book, which was published by the University of the West Indies Press, this is what I wrote. The author presents a lively, perceptive, first-hand account of the evolution of Jamaican dancehall culture. Combining scholarship and anecdotal evidence, Hope delineates the complex web of socioeconomic and political factors that shape cultural identity in the marginalized working class communities out of which contemporary popular culture arises. Before the book, there was Donna's MPhil thesis. It took her a mere 4 years to finish the degree. Just yesterday, we were lamenting the fact that so many graduate students at the University of the West Indies, Mona, remain trapped in programs from which escape becomes increasingly impossible. 5, 10, 15, 20 years working on and off for a degree that is oftentimes not completed. Me throw my corn, me no corn no foul. Proverbial wisdom reminds us that when you throw stone in a hog pen, the one that ball out is the one get lick. Like many Jamaican proverbs, this one is metaphorical, it is not literal. I would not dare describe any of our graduate students as hogs. In fact, with apologies to Claude McKay, I offer this advice based on his famous poem, If We Must Die, in which he deploys a most effective hoggish simile. And to ensure that I don't get into trouble, I have changed hogs to another farm animal. If we must do a graduate degree at UWI, let it not be like cattle, hunted and penned in an inglorious spot. Let us nobly face the task ahead, working diligently on schedule, not taking self-indulgent leaves of absence, so that our precious time may not be wasted. Oh, fellow students, we must meet the common foe, procrastination, the thief of time. Then, even the most demanding supervisor will honor us for the sophistication of our research and the speed with which we complete our degree. Before us, opportunities will arise, and we shall claim the rewards of our hard labor. The UWI Press may publish our outstanding thesis, and decades later, when it remains in print, we will celebrate our lasting legacy. Although I'm not a political scientist, I daringly accept the request of the Department of Government to be one of the examiners of Donna's MPhil thesis. As you heard in my blurb to the book, which evolved from that thesis, I knew that Donna's work was exceptional in more ways than one. As far as I can tell, this was a first graduate thesis at the University of the West Indies in which the title was in the Jamaican language, and most appropriately so. My trusty AI informant observes that, quote, a strong thesis title is clear, concise, 5 to 15 words, and informative, accurately reflecting the study's core topic, key findings, or methods. It should contain relevant keywords for discoverability and often uses a two-part structure with a colon to blend a catchy hook with essential research details, end of quote. The title of Donna's thesis, which she retained for the book, was certainly a catchy hook. In the Dancehall is not a quotation from some seemingly authoritative source speaking in Jamaican. It is a voice of the author herself. Donna's choice of language for the title of the book signifies her identification with the subjects of her study. Dancehall culture is rooted in the everyday speech of urban Jamaica. The lyrics of the DJs are in Jamaican. The language of the audience is Jamaican. The world of dancehall culture is a celebration of the heart language of most Jamaicans. The ruling elite of both political parties have failed to acknowledge Jamaican as an official language in this, its country of origin. Nevertheless, Jamaican is a language in which most of us live and move and have our being in and outside of the dancehall. Donna's thesis was also exceptional because of the subject itself. 2 decades ago, dancehall culture was not yet generally regarded as worthy of serious academic attention. My own pioneering essay, Slackness Hiding from Culture, Erotic Play in the Dancehall, published in Jamaica Journal almost 4 decades ago, was presented as a paper at the 1989 conference of the UK Society for Caribbean Studies. Though it was largely well received, there was some skepticism about the literary value I had placed on the lyrics produced in the Jamaican vernacular by supposedly illiterate DJs. That never stopped me. A single essay could have passed scrutiny, but an entire MPhil thesis on dancehall, that was another matter. In 1997, when Donna began her graduate degree program in the Department of Government, dancehall culture would certainly not have been readily acknowledged as an appropriate field of inquiry for an MPhil thesis. Donna was most fortunate that her primary supervisor, Professor Rupert Lewis, and his pro tem, Professor Anthony Bogues, were both Garvey scholars who fully understood the emancipatory politics of popular culture. They knew that dancehall culture was a manifestation of working class creativity that could not be dismissed and excluded from the academy. Inna the Dancehall promised to take uninitiated readers into an unfamiliar world. Donna assumed the responsibility of tour guide, offering to give an insider's view of dancehall culture for a relatively small fee, the cost of the book. In 2006, it was $950. The current cost is $5,600, and you know you're getting a 30% discount this evening. Based on just a dollar figure, it would seem as if the current price is almost 6 times the original, from $950 to $5,600. But taking into account the steady devaluation of the Jamaican dollar, the disparity in cost is not as high as you might imagine. In 2006, $950 Jamaican dollars was the equivalent of US $14.50 to $15.50, with the exchange rate fluctuating between 64.5 to 65.74. Currently, $1 US is approximately 156.86 Jamaican dollars. So $5,600, stay with me with the maths, is approximately US $35.42. Now, I must say, big respects to the UWI Press for not raising the cost of their books excessively. The current regular cost of Donna's book in US dollars is only a little over double the original cost. I don't know how the press does it, but big respect to them. Many outsiders then and now dismiss dancehall culture as vulgarly infra-dig, but it is nevertheless voyeuristically enticing. As Peter Stalibras and Alan White argue in their book, The Politics and Poetics of Transgression, quote, disgust always bears the imprint of desire. I repeat it. Disgust always bears the imprint of desire. So what you appear to find disgusting is often what you really want. For insiders, Donna's invitation to go in at the dance hall was an affirmation of the value of an arena in which they could find relief from the everyday trauma of surviving on the margins of Jamaican society. But some insiders were suspicious of her project. In her engaging preface to the book, Donna discloses a complex insider-outsider position she occupied. Quote, many of my early interviewees regarded me as a middle-class, university-educated professional. In the rigid, class-driven morass of Jamaican life, this perception generated responses and actions that reflected my respondents' view of their roles in opposition and deference to mine, unquote. Negotiating the tension between opposition and deference, between insider and outsider, was a protracted struggle. This is how Donna put it. I developed a necessary kind of schizophrenic personality that bordered on a kind of sacred insanity. Here I could enter the dance hall to participate and observe in a state of almost full objectivity without being judgmental or biased. On leaving the field, I could even revert to full researcher identity and debrief, document, and analyze again in a state of near objectivity. The price of this schizophrenic activity was high. It is now difficult for me to attend any dancehall event without automatically putting on my researcher lens. I consider the outcome, however, well worth the price. By 1997, when Donna started her MPhil, there were hopeful signs that academic work on dancehall would soon no longer demand that researchers assume a necessary kind of schizophrenic personality. The Reggae Studies unit had already been established in the Institute of Caribbean Studies. The unit was conceived as a focal point for multidisciplinary research on Jamaican popular music at the University of the West Indies. Though the reach of the unit may not have formally extended into the Faculty of Social Sciences, Jamaican popular music had entered the academy and was claiming space. In 1995, the Reggae Studies unit, then grandly named the International Reggae Studies Center before it was cut down to size, collaborated with the Bob Marley Foundation to host a symposium marking the reggae icon's 50th birthday. The papers from that symposium confirmed the substantive scholarship in the emerging field of reggae studies. Garth White's Romance, Rebellion, Religion, Marley's Musical Mix, Michael Lane's Positive Vibrations, Capitalist Textual Hegemony and Bob Marley, Brent Clough's Jamming Down Under, Bob Marley's Legacy and Reggae Culture in Australia and New Zealand were excellent examples of academic research on Jamaican popular music abroad and abroad. Consistently reverting to full researcher identity after leaving the dancehall field, Donna expertly managed the seeming sacred insanity that her schizophrenic academic work engendered. Inna the Dancehall lucidly delineates the categories or typologies of affectors and affectees, as she put it, in the dancehall. Though many of the actors have moved off the stage and been replaced over the last 2 decades, the categories have remained constant. The affectors creators and the affectees consumers of dancehall culture. The affectors are song creators, as distinct from the performers, sound system operators, promoters, producers, dynamic hype creators, visual creators, and of course the DJs. Then there are the consumers, categorized by gender: Miss Hattie Hattie, Miss Vogue, Miss Sting, and Big Woman. Male categories are the Don Youth, the Don Shatter, the freaky hype type, the big man, dad's father, heavy man. Donna argues that, quote, the related themes of gender and sexuality run through the foregoing typologies of dancehall affectors and affectees, unquote. I will not disclose any more details about Inna the Dancehall here. Those of you who have read the book already know the full range of insights it offers. And I don't want to spoil the pleasure for those who have not yet followed Donna Inna the Dancehall. A world of excitement awaits. Enough congratulations to Professor Donna Hope on this occasion of celebration. And if you know Donna's email address, it's dqueen. She's a dancehall queen. Big up, enough respect, dqueen13, for the lasting legacy of your path-breaking book, Inna the Dancehall, Jamaican Popular Culture and the Politics of Identity in Jamaica. Thank you.
So we heard from the scholar, and the beautiful thing about an evening like this, you hear from the scholar, then you're also going to hear from the practitioner. So we have a performer that is coming at this time, and once I can locate the name, I will announce. Please give love and support to Candy Price, dancehall artist.
Hi, good night, good night, good night. Good night. I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about my background, how I was raised, where I was from. You know, most I call it a garrison or a ghetto or a third class community. But play omnispective for me, please. Yeah. It's my pleasure to be here. Yes, thank you. Omnispective. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And growing up in a some ghetto like where we've come from, seeing some things with a life was unseen. You know what I mean? But like this. I wear them know about bed pan blocks and bun down shops. Can niche with the cash. Pension la job and no stop friend in a back. When snake turn rat. Fed still a link with parrot. Another innocent job. Mama wore a red back. Me see the chip with the Glock with the broke pan that. A school up on the top. Remember when 4 big job, it was a poor kid that. Mama could afford the 14 shot. Funeral day was a raw board box. When Maxil at Craig them job, and I know it was a good you that Mishika and Anibaka that Mummy say she now come back, and oh, I've seen many things, many things, so many things, places you have never been. You could imagine now. I've seen many things, so many things, places you have never been. You could imagine. And when this club sound like Bama Jap, Eli Subaka know the first one that every Sunday another earth round ya. It come me like it's a curse round ya. Them say the earth don't flat it when we verse on back. Me know a time when the dance won't stop, when bass box a beat and it a shake go stop. She ain't say my forward and can't come back. Nah, come back. You can't give me another track. Yeah, Candy Price. We are say that's how somebody experience some in the garrison. We know that track. And this is what we want now. Chevrons. This is what we want now. Hey. Say, hey, this different, something them never hear, sir. It's style where them a wait, pan a me a lucky city and a we a lucky acres. Don't mess with the paper. Send the money now, we say cash up our paper. As long as it reach that, me no really cater. Mummy fi in a Benz and a fi drive Ranger. Say, all round the era a Chevron. See every youth in me era. We want richer than Pharaoh. Chevron, every youth for drive Ranger, all on me era, Chevron, me Balenciaga, me Prada, Gucci, me Zara, Alexander McQueen, where we are da. Hey, for me ice, them a wearing a yada. I'm never go so down, me never voodoo. Hey, granny grow me good, what do unu? Frankie drop the Benz, watch it vroom vroom. Maxil Walter, it's a good move. Hey, Chevron, see every youth in me era. We want richer than Pharaoh. A Chevron, every youth for drive Ranger, all on me era. Hey Chevron, you can't give me a slim thing there. I will go back down in my dancehall. Because as a new school artist, we kind of have the old school lack. You understand? No joke about that. Yeah. So give me one the slim thing there. Yeah. Okay then. Sanjay, we see you. Big up yourself. Ciao. Hey, remember say me boss, but then lyrically fast, but them no in a me class, but up to me standard. Some say price gone mad, but lyrics say me and not them it. And then no earn I'm a la regular me chain style, them no bad like me hairstyle. Flow them be a Kyle, direct no cable style, no king around the table style. With them in a fine style, people of York, Sanjay, where we fine style, where we watch a style, Marina and Clarks. Bad girl sitting in a Moroccan pop off. Bad girl sitting like turbo carpets. Bad girl sitting in Mr. like Gaza. Black or bad girl sitting in this for me heart sing. Bad girl sitting in Mr. Angel carpets. Bad girl sitting in Mr. like Gaza. Black or bad girl sitting in this from heart. Hey watch a then insane flow. None of them no bad like me chain do. Cross from me neck and them no bad like me cane row. Candy price this and no flipping Nintendo. Me bad win no bad but me lendo. Comprendo. Win them in no one blow. More wicked alpha so expandable than Rambo. Wilder than the west in the Django. Them food softer than the mango. Win them all around now. Kill them all them. Marina and Clarks. It's a bad girl sitting sing. Rock and papa sing. Bad girl sitting watch a third row carpets. And me say like Gaza black sing no. And we do it for me I sing. Me say oh gosh, bad girl, I like this vibe. I can do one more song for you. Can I do one more song for you? Give me what that same rhythm there. Hey Sanjay, hey General B, in the building, Saeed. All right then, watch it then. Me be fire. Oh, Joe. Oh. Can the price on the floor, you understand? Me make me money talk for me. No answer, no call, fool, you a talk silly. Me a talk milli. Ballers like BB, G-man of them and of them. Them dead. You know, it's a great candy price I represent. Thank you again. My pleasure being here.
A question. So we have some VIP tickets from the Museum, and I'm giving them away 2 tickets at this time. And the question is, which chicken back gravy and such delights. Again, presented by Professor Hope herself. You have the book already? Oh, she don't have the book. Or if she have it, she want it still. Okay. So we talked about theory meeting practice. We have another entertainment piece coming up. Sanjay and Dancehall all stars. Are you ready? All right, make them welcome. Sanjay and Dancehall all stars. No sir, no sir. Sanjay and Dancehall all stars. All right, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
In the dance hall. Pull it up. We can work with it, man. We work with it. Let it go. That good, man. That good, man. In the dance hall. 20 years. Watch the style, your pose. Now bust a dance, bust a dance, everybody bust a dance. Everybody for your move to my utterance. Rude boy, go feel like a moms and tell her if he pose. Now swag up on them, swag up on them, swag up on them. All them know say we better than them is another anthem, but hold on the pose. Like domino, small money can't size up and that me know. GPT, yeah them have to chat me do, can't do it to my face because they know that we blow. Like statue on the internet when we send shots at you. Them cat crew, lock, clue, shot who, boy, them hot to call like mine. Hat you, pose. Now bust a dance, bust a dance, everybody bust a dance. Everybody for your move to my utter rude boy. Go feel like moms and tell her if he pose. Now swag up on them, swag up on them, swag up on them. All them know so we better than them is another and but hold on the pose. Like no need more money, just a richer mind. But never a rhyme stepping at the place, beer cheers like a liquor time. Like figurine. Nobody waste the time I try figure me. Them a pretty nigger, man have bigger dreams. Try stop that a good end up in a river stream. Now bust a dance, bust a dance, everybody bust a dance. Everybody for your move to my utter rude boy. Go feel like a moms and tell her if it pose. First of all, big up to Professor Donna Hope. 20 years of anything. Let it go, man. Yeah, man. Big up to Professor Donna Hope. 20 years of anything is a huge accomplishment. You don't know. And it's an honor to be here to celebrate the moment right now. So we are going to go back in our catalog as well, too. So walk you through some of the dancing songs. Them. Ready? Hey, yo, we style them. Belle, belle, think your bad, just say fair, kick out, pele, pele. When me say we belle, belle, belle. Yo, the remix, belle, belle. We all a star up your tele, tele. Girl, see me cause I'm mele, mele. When them say me belle, 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 belle. Hey, belle, 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 belle. Bermuda squad and Shelly Belly say, belle, 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 belle. Dash. You see, in life, confidence is very important in anything you do. Don't wait for them for hype you. You know what you have to do? Oh, geez, if you hype yourself, hype yourself, hype yourself, hype yourself, hype yourself, hype yourself, hype yourself because you like yourself. Hey, hype yourself, don't fight yourself. Brave and bold, highlight yourself before you like nobody else. Like yourself, go for what you want and not fight yourself. Hey, hype yourself, hype yourself, hype yourself. Looking at the mirror, push yourself for reach heights of wealth. Hype yourself, hype yourself. Don't want your heart like. Hey, hype yourself. That me want you do, yeah. Hype yourself. Dash. And it's not, let it go. It's not only about confidence. You have to have the right attitude as well too. Ready? Hey, me feel good today, yeah. Under our vibes, yeah. Feel good today, feel good. Spread love like we should. Everything I get, thumbs up. Give a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Ah, step with it. Dash. Next one. Big up Shelly Belly. Big up Tug Star. Hey, a the punch. At the punch, at the punch, at the punch, at the punch, at the everybody know. Punch, at the 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 punch. Hey! Hey! RT with the goody bungs. Them a goody bunch. Chew them down, got a punch. And give them what? Hey! Them a punch. Them a punch. You ready? At the punch, at the punch, at the punch, at the punch. Next. Everybody hold the go. Bunks. You ever forget crazy? Yo, that party, yeah, crazy. Every shoes, get mad now, crazy. All the vibes, go on bad, yeah, crazy. All on the dance floor, get crazy. Give me more, get crazy. Get crazy. Yo, hold on there, stop. Calm down, drag them but no start walk round, drag them but no start walk. Hand them away, but nobody not jump. Crazy, but no, me not go on no doctor. Them boy they a baby, maybe give them some lacta. Them a copy the style where we are manufacture. Sick, mad head hatter. That part of the show I know. I want to represent for the real people them. So through the good times and through the bad times, high tide and low tide, if you have somebody in your life where you know say, you're real too, that one here for you. Aye. So me say always and forever is the promise, and I hope you find solace in seeing the way I live my life. Always try to be the kind of man where she can recline upon through her problems and her strife, cause I know that one day I'm gonna need the same. I won't run away, girl, I will share your pain. Though some say anything in life can change, I know one thing will stay the same. I will be a man of my word. I promise you that this much is true, girl. A man of my word. So what I say is what I'm gonna do, yeah, cause I'm a man of my word. I said I'd always be right here for you, and I'm a man, Lord, a man of. That's why I try to live my life righteous in the divine. I trust. If you have integrity, I must, cause words can define us or defile us. While plus word sound is power, so I just choose my words careful. Wolf, I wear wool, but with honesty, you don't got to be fearful. Take my advice. So long as we have life, I will be by your side. I will be a man of my word. Promise you that this much is true, girl. Man of my word. Wallet. For the last track now, as we say, as a man of your word, you have to prioritize, you have to value things like integrity and them things. So we represent for the real people them in the car. We're not bad man, we're not chopper. We're real youth, so we have to represent for the real people. And sometimes the real youth them walk a lonely road. Still genuine, most people only love you when you win. Sometimes I feel like the last real one left, yeah. The last real one left. The last real one left. Sometimes I feel like the last real youth left. We're genuine, most people only love you when you win. Quick for carry news, yeah, them quick for tell you things. Never want to tell you nothing, we're encouraging. Me see it, 2 o'clock on the dot after midnight. Empty roads give you insights. I know everything you can keep inside. Truth have to come out in time. Real people trod a lonely road. Integrity, the only code. The thoughtful with a heart full show me those. For the wicked keep 2 fours like on Kobe close. Look for the real, me not see nobody left. Talk some real things but everybody deaf. It's like my day a different frequency. Cause recently, feel like the last real one left. Yeah. The last You know why I feel like the last real one left sometimes? Right now, God forbid one of them buildings they start burn down, a fire start. Before people run go help, you know what them do? Take out them phone. So you know that tell me, say, hey, social media make it all about the likes, all about the Adidas, all about the Nikes, all about attention, all about the hype. Dog, balance your life, cause enough of them not check for real people again. Then them wonder why them have some evil as friend. Money are the principle we're leading for them, but tell Edwin me never Allen. Cause me see the real and me see the fakes. Baby gardener cut the grass and see the snakes. Right now my heart hurt for the greats. We sacrifice them food, empty plates. Feel like the last real one left. Yeah. The last real one left. You know another thing too? Nowadays, nobody no respect you for who you be or your character. You know what them respect you for? What you have, what you achieve. You know what that tell me, say? Me see it clear. People no respect people, them respect popular. Start elevate your own friends, you them not happy for. Reach neck to neck with them turn Dracula. Far right films tell them act better. Turn a legend, everybody want be A-team. Just for being at the C-class pan D scene and B scene, spend D green. But when the green turn red, them missing. Nowadays everybody a artist, though. Enough of them need figure ask some artists how. Respect the craft if you want it stuck with you. Stop.
Right, this is an easy one now, man. Don't all rush at one time. It's an easy one now. From the treasure trove, this is yours. Are you ready? Hear this one now. What is the name of the book we are celebrating tonight? Mr. The hand go up first. Yes? Let me see if it sounds right. What you say? You know, get some more attitude. All right, come feet. Prof. Cooper, could you please present to her this book? You can present it here. Oh. So I have one more book and the VIP tickets left. So after this, so please make sure you're getting yourself ready, amped up for the next round. Well done to the winner of that. We move now to the introduction of the author. We ask Janema Clement, she's a UWI student, to come forward and do so. Make her welcome.
Of the Institute of Caribbean Studies, a former Deputy Dean of the Graduate Studies and Research in the faculty. She is also currently the coordinator of the Graduate Studies in the Institute of Caribbean Studies. An accomplished researcher and author, she has written hundreds of articles, journals, newspapers, and magazines, and has also contributed to many others. She has published 7 books, including the celebrated In the Dancehall, Popular Culture and the Politics of Identity in Jamaica, Dancehall Queen, Erotic Subversion or Subversion Erotica, Man Vibes, Masculinities in the Jamaican Dancehall, and Reggae Stories, Jamaican Musical Legends and Cultural Legacies. Her research and writings have contributed significantly to the discussions on dancehall, reggae, gender, masculinity, and the impacts of music on the Caribbean identity and global cultural trends. A renowned Jamaican cultural activist, Professor Hope maintains a strong network inside Jamaica's dancehall culture and advocates and continue to advocate on behalf of dancehall players in various forms. She is currently finalizing her poetry monograph entitled These Thorns Have Roses for publication and completing the final draft for her manuscript on the spread of dancehall dance industry under the title Dancehall's Scattered Children. In addition to this, her work on transition in Afro-Caribbean gender structures, tentatively titled Transitory Masculinities. As the current president of the Caribbean Studies Association, the CSA, for the period 2025 to 2026, she is currently planning the 50th annual CSA conference for June 1st to 5th, 2016 in Kingston, Jamaica, under the theme Caribbean Vibes and Vibration, Culture, Identity, and Development in Transformative Times. A Fulbright scholarship, Professor Hope earned her PhD in Cultural Studies from George Mason University after completing her Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication with a first-class honors and her Master's in Philosophy in Political Science at the University of the West Indies, Mona. I ask you to stand on your feet and put your hands together for the well-spoken, the literate, the queen, the well-dressed, the queen, my queen, dancehall queen, your professor, or professor, my professor, Donna P. Hope.
Thank you, Goody. Thank you. And I have to say it that way because we're still in the dance hall. Thank you so much, Danae. And of course, I'm always grateful to be in these kind of spaces with people who I love and who love dancehall and of course what we do at the University of the West Indies. And so before I begin, I want to of course recognize the presence of persons here, the presence of my ancestors, my family, friends, fans, mentors, my colleagues, students, present here in person, and also those who are joining us online via YouTube, and of course those who are present in the spirit, because of course this is a very spiritual moment. And one of the things that I'm going to do, I'm going to ground, take off my shoes, because on this wooden floor, which I love very much, I have to ground as I go through my reflections. And so I want to begin with the dedication of the book, In the Dance Hall, for those of you who have a copy. This is for my son, Bertland, and that stream is showing some of these persons. And Mama, Edith Henry, July 1928 to August 2002. Rivers alone know. Rivers alone know where they are coming from. And so it's a profound honor for me to stand there this evening, 20 years after the publication of my first book, In the Dance Hall, and the date was April 6th, 2006, when we had that launch by the UE Press, and to reflect not only on a book, but in reality also to reflect on a journey, a career, a set of relationships, and what I have as a very deep commitment to understanding Jamaican culture on its own terms. And that's very important for me and my work. So this evening, I want to underscore the fact that this event here, IDD at 20, owes a debt of gratitude to that woman there, Caroline Cooper. And I have to thank Caroline. And why do I say this? Even though I had spoken with Christine Randall and Karen Smith of the UE Press, and we were planning a little event, because of the work I'm doing on the Caribbean Studies Association conference, I kind of said, I'm not going to bother with it, because there's a lot of work to pull together an event, however large, however small. And so speaking with Caroline, I said to her, Caroline, I won't be bothering with it. And Caroline said, no. Caroline already, you have to have something. She said, 20 years of a book, and the book is still being sold and still being used. You have to have something. Christine, I'm confessing now. And so I worked with my team and pulled together this event. But Caroline Cooper is the person who pushed me over the edge to say, let us move through with the event. And so, plan something, man. We planned something, and here we are. No, thank you, Caroline. Always supporting. So I want to begin with that story, and my students who are here and online know I love to tell stories. I come from a space where culture was not abstract, it was lived, it was heard, and it was felt, it was argued, and it was embodied. It existed in sound systems, in community gatherings, and in the everyday negotiations of life in Jamaica. So long before I entered formal academic spaces like the University of the West Indies, beginning with this very faculty where I did my first degree, the Faculty of Humanities and Education. It was called Faculty of Arts and General Studies then. We called it FAGS. I'm telling you, this is that part of the history. Colleen, am I wrong or am I wrong? But long before I entered these academic spaces, I was already encountering the textures of what we would later learn, we would call something called popular culture. But at that time, for people like myself and many others, it was just simply about life. And so at places like Club Jamaica in Linstead, and there are people in this room who remember these things, round robins at the corner shops, at Reggae Sun Splash before we went on to Sumfest. We're talking about history. At Sting, I remember being at Sting 1990. It's in the dance hall, and we behaved very badly. And Bonnie Whaler, rest in peace, did not forgive us. You can read about that. At sound system parties, listening to Stone Love, Metro Media Sound, Super D, Silver Arc Sound, Pieces, Jara Sound, Kilimanjaro, BS Odyssey Sound, we can call out a lot of them from that time, Roadstar, many others. And so there are people in this room who have walked some of these spaces with me. And I want to acknowledge a friend here with me. She has been my friend since I was 11 years old. Carly, stand up and hold up your hand. That lady has been my friend since I was 11 years old. Thank you. And she has walked through a lot of these spaces with me and has behaved badly with me in some of these spaces as we move through what we then learned in the future would be called popular culture. But when I moved into academia and began my work and my research, one of the things that I became increasingly aware of was a kind of disconnect, a distance between the lived vibrancy of Jamaican culture and the kind of cultural expressions that we were living through and the ways in which the knowledge about this culture was being produced, the ways it was being validated, and the ways it was being acknowledged. There are a lot of silences around many of these spaces, and there are a lot of absences. And of course, there were many entirety of worlds of meaning that were either misunderstood or dismissed. So when I began the Masters of Philosophy Research in Political Science in the Department of Government, that would lay the foundation for this book in 1997, as Caroline told you, her chapter in that book called Noises in the Blood, 1993, stood as a signpost. We never really had nothing else. And that's a very important part of what was happening at that time in Jamaica. Aside from the work of journalists, many, many journalists at the Gleaner, the Star newspaper, magazines like Buzz Magazine, X News, we had nothing to draw on that was written and documented. And so Inna the Dancehall emerged from that tension. It emerged from that yawning desert of documented and research work that was necessary. And so Inna the Dancehall was the project as an MPhil project, an attempt to close the gap, to insist that dancehall was worthy of serious attention, not as spectacle, but also as a critical site of identity formation, of power, creativity, and social negotiation. And I'm speaking as someone who's living within the performances and all that was happening, the contradictions that define the culture. It was also an attempt to locate myself and my friends, my family, and those people who spent time with me, all of us, as creators, key creators, and consumers of this culture. And I wrote a lot. Professor Cooper spoke a little about that, affectors, affectees, positioning all of these individuals that I saw and knew and loved inside of the dancehall within a body of research. And so to argue in that work that who we are and that what we had to say about ourselves was valid, was legitimate, and was very, very Jamaican. It was very important. And I must say this very clearly, that the work in the dancehall was not mine alone. It's never been mine. As an insider, outsider in that cultural space, it was made possible by the kind of access that was given to me, by the level of trust that individuals who were in that space who allowed me into their spaces, often private, often guarded, and very meaningful spaces. So artists, selectors, dancers, community members, people who opened their worlds to me and allowed me to observe, to listen, and to learn. And remember, I'm coming from Linstead, St. Catherine, and many of these spaces are in the urban centers in Kingston. I'm not from Kingston. No, I'm a Kingstonian by default. I lived there long enough. People like Jack Sower, and I had to invite Jack Sower. So where you there? Big up yourself, Jack Sower, original dancehall videographer. Jack Sower was one of my early informants in dancehall culture and has remained my brethren through these years. Allow me access. People like Carleen, dancehall queen Carleen, who is on her way to Greece right now. Big up Queen Olga, DHQ Olga from Greece, Athens. The dancehall family has extended far and wide. Carlin is off to Greece. And many, many other persons who allowed me to just bill and chill and look and see and hold a vibe, learn and do the research. And for that, I remain profoundly grateful. But me have to tell another little story. Caroline, you know I'm going to tell a piece of that story. It's a little interlude in the conversation. Inna the Dancehall is the product of my MPhil in Political Science in the Department of Government. And it was completed in 2001. And you'll see the document floating around, my MPhil document, the front page of it that sits in the West Indies collection in the main library of this university in hard copy. I lived that research. And that document was titled, Inna the Dancehall, This Place. Because I was theorizing about a particular kind of space, popular culture and the politics of identity in Jamaica. We shortened it for the book. And so I spent countless hours in diverse dancehall locations, and I became an honorary member of the Gleaner Company at North Street, because I had to spend a lot of hours, days, months, in their microfiche research location, because we couldn't do it online those. This was 1997. So I had to go down there in t-shirt and jeans and sandals, and literally I would eat in the lunchroom. I became an honorary member there, because I had to be going through countless pages of newspapers, the Star, the Gleaner, to get the documentation that I needed to build this book out of nothing. It's very important. It was very painstaking, and I look back at those days fondly. 1997 to 2001, 4 years of my life, 263 pages that document was. But there's more. Now, the book from this document, 2001 MPhil, the book was completed in 2006, in the same timeline as my PhD in cultural studies at George Mason University. So imagine this. I'm writing a PhD, which is a different document. It becomes a book called Man Vibes in 2010. And I'm living in Fairfax, Virginia in exile, as I wrote a poem called Exilia. And I defended that PhD on the 9th of March, 2006. And on the 6th of April, 2006, I launched Inna the Dancehall. $267 pages for the PhD thesis dissertation, and 226 pages of a book. Why did I put myself through all of that? People in this room, most of you in this room, write term papers, you write thesis, you write dissertation, you write research paper for me and complain, so you can't done 3,000 words. Work with me on this. These images, and some of the images are floating there, of the launch of Inna the Dancehall. And if you look in my face, you can see my eyes are gone down in little holes. Yes, I was extremely tired, and those images evoke the kind of mental and physical fatigue at the cellular level that I was going through at that moment. But it had to be done. Because, and I stand there and writing, just thinking about this event, I got very emotional because I had to reminisce on my why. Why was I doing that? And Carlin, you talk about the sacred madness. The sacred madness had to descend on me during that timeline. A profound dementia born of a need to survive against significant odds. Because if I had not put myself through that 10 degrees of hellfire, 2 bouts of bronchitis during that period, as I remember, I would not be standing here tonight, 20 years later, say I am the author of Inna the Dancehall, with a career that spans beyond that because of what happened in that timeline. This book, my legacy, my best piece of work, my life's work, would have been claimed by someone else. Things were happening along the pathway in that timeline, and people had arrived in this very location as researchers of dancehall, talking about dancehall, and beginning a process of claiming books, and a book would about to be published in an imminent timeline. And based on the rustles on water and the whispers on phone calls and something that was published, I was pressured to immediately publish the book from the MPhil. It became an immediate project. And so I remember having a conversation, and the suggestion was if I delayed, I would lose that book. And these things have happened in the distant past. And so, armed with the strength, and I remember that moment very clearly, with the strength of my beloved mama who had left me along the way in 2002, just before I left for the USA to do my PhD, I returned to the UA Press here in Kingston, Jamaica, and met with Donna Muirhead, who is sitting in this room, and Linda Speth, who was the manager of the UA Press, and carved out a contract. Donna, stand up and hold up your hand. This woman. Yes. And so I carved out a contractual arrangement in 2004 for the publication of this book, and began working on the book. And Caroline, before I continue, I must pause. Me never did know, say you did one of the examiner for my MPhil. I had to go up, and thank you for that. And so, when I look at the pictures from the dance hall, I look young and fresh, but my eyes think they're not old. I was incredibly fatigued in that moment. I was on fumes, as we'd say in Jamaica, but I had prevailed, because today, 20 years later, that person who had an imminent publication on the horizon has never published a book on dancehall. And this is something that I look back on with a great deal of fondness. That moment in 2000, see, that's Donna Muirhead, that's me with my eyes down in hole, and that's Omar Davis. That was a moment, a transitory moment for me. But even as I trod these pathways, I want to underscore for you, appropriation wears many faces. And I stand here in testimony. Guard your work, guard your creations, whether they are in document, whether they are in film, whether they are in sound, whether they are in these people. Guard your work and ensure that you protect what you have created. Own your creations and preserve your output. I hear too many stories of persons who have lost their intellectual property at the slip of a button. Be very careful. So now I want to underscore that to study dancehall is not to just go into it and analyze it. It is to enter into a relationship with it. And that relationship carries a great deal of responsibility, a responsibility to represent it very carefully, to represent it with honesty and interpret it ethically, and to always remain accountable to the people and practices that make dancehall culture, any culture, what it is. And always a responsibility to remain authentic. So even while you analyze and theorize and make all these statements, it is something that you're doing on behalf of many lives, people who are living through this culture. And so that is a responsibility that must ensure also that the original creators are validated and identified. And I find that a lot of times when we are going into cultures, people forget that there are original creators and forget to name names and identify those on whose backs these cultural products are created. Reminding all of us, both here and online, of that important responsibility. And that is a responsibility that I hold very dear. And it has earned me quite a few labels. Dancehall defender, dancehall apologist. I hear this all the time. Dancehall activist. I wear them all proudly. I remain in the dancehall. So over the past 20 years, a lot has changed where research and writing is concerned, and where Jamaican music and dancehall is concerned. Dancehall has traveled far and wide on the backs and bodies of its creators, their vocalizations of lyrics and sound and song, and in the pre and pose of the fashion and style, and of course in the explosion of dance and dance styles, as you saw with the Dancehall All-Stars here earlier. And of course in the wave of dancehall queens and DHQs, and the ever-present battle for space that continues, and for life as it emerges. Dancehall has expanded far beyond Jamaica's borders, entering global circuits of music, fashion, dance, and digital culture. We see it on TikTok, we see it on Instagram, it's all over the internet, YouTube, and elsewhere. It has broken language barriers, moving across the bodies of dancehall dance fraternity into Latin and South America, Europe, Asia, and beyond. And it has been remixed, it has been reinterpreted, and at times appropriated. We always come back to that word. It has changed shape and form, taking on new names: dembow, reggaeton, raga, many others. Its histories, but even more. As it moves, it continues to carry with it still the traces of its origins, the histories and the tensions, and the creative energies. It still speaks about this place, this land, and the people who are here, and it speaks about my culture, my bloodline, and my yard. And so as we look at the movement of dancehall culture, Jamaican culture, we have to remind ourselves that documentation becomes critical and urgent. We must document more and write more and put more products in place. Because what does it mean to preserve a culture that is always evolving? What does it mean to archive something that lives in sound, in music, in movement, in performance, in fashion and style, in the fleeting moments of a dance that is choreographed and sometimes moved on from? So we have to expand our understanding of what it means to have an archive. An archive is not only a building. It is not only a hard collection of text or objects. It is also found in the lyrics, in the songs, in the rhythms, in the dance moves, in the choreographies, in fashion, in memory. It exists in books, yes, and I will write many more books. I have several manuscripts on my laptop at home. But I don't want to clash the books. I'm trying not to do that. You know, take a book and clash a book and kill it. Not doing that. But what will happen is that dancehall also exists in the sound systems, in the dancehall events, the weekly events, in the sessions, in the museums like Striker Lee Museum, which you are supposed to win some tickets and go and visit on Burns Avenue and Duane Park. Please go and visit that museum, because Striker Lee has created across his own lifetime more than his imprint is on more than 11,000 singles. That man has a massive catalog, and he has touched many lives. Me, I go to one question in reverse. Listen. All right. So then, to document culture is not just to fix it in place. You also have to engage with it. You have to trace it, and you have to make it visible through the very processes by which meaning is created and sustained. And that is one of the reasons why, if you see this DHA thing going up there, I also created in April, and that was in April 2018, and we had a launch of the Dancehall Archive and Research Initiative to help with that documentation, digitally and otherwise. But we continue the work of documenting, archiving, researching, and writing. And so I call on everyone here in this place, whether here in Vivo, live, online, and or here in this room. The work must continue through writing, through recording, through archiving in institutions, and I see Jams here with us, and through the initiatives that recognize that what we are dealing with is not just something that is ephemeral in the sense of being insignificant, but ephemeral in the sense of being alive and organic. Culture is organic, it is dynamic, and this culture is alive, it lives. The challenge before us then is to ensure that this vibrant aliveness is not lost, and that these stories are told, that they are preserved, and that these voices are heard, and that the complexity and vibrancy of this culture is not lost. Because remember, what we are really brokering on is memory, identity, and history. And so when I reflect on the legacy of the dancehall, and you see images here of students and myself in various locations, I do so with a great deal of humility. The dancehall has traveled. It has contributed to many, many conversations in popular culture, popular music, cultural studies, Caribbean cultural studies, gender studies, and others. But more importantly, it has been part of a broader effort, a very collective effort by many persons to take seriously the cultural forms through which individuals understand themselves, through which Jamaicans understand themselves and the world in which they live. And so I published many books, quite a few books, and built courses, taught many, many classes, and danced in many, many dancehall field trips with my students. Many, 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 since 2008. There's one of the picture up there, Passa Passa 2008. We have been all over the place with students and others. I've shared academic presentations all over the world and online, and of course the Dancehall Archive. And this I consider to be the shape and form of my journey in the dancehall. Very important. And so what I hope to have done is to contribute to building this legacy of preserving and archiving our culture. Even more so, I hope that all of us here and online continue to value our culture, not just as expression, but also as knowledge, and that we continue to document it even as it continues to change before our very eyes. And of course, that we remain committed to engaging it with the depth of respect and the seriousness that it deserves. Researching in dancehall culture today, this is 2026, has become a more respectable enterprise than when I started in 1997. Them not juke you up so much like how them they juke me up so much. Colin took the biggest juke them and then we come and get juke up still. But you are more legitimized in the academy and in serious spaces when you do research on dancehall culture. And for that, I am grateful. And so I return to gratitude as I close. Rivers alone know where they are coming from, and I repay gratitude to those on whose backs I stand. Many, many names, too many to mention. My mother is on that slide somewhere. She departed before I completed these projects, but she's always with me in spirit and in truth. To many of my mentors who opened doors, people like Professor Cooper, Professor Lewis, many persons who are here and not here. I see Professor Claudette Williams, Donna Muirhead, the UWI Press, many others, George Mason University Massive and others. And of course, to the extended dancehall massive that has exploded in Europe, Latin and South America, to all the artists, big up my brethren General B for being here with us and all the artists who are here. I repay gratitude to everyone, and I repay gratitude to those who continue to engage the culture, the popular culture, dancehall culture, and of course gratitude to everyone who took time to be here with us this evening. I will remain, as always, in the dancehall. I thank you.
Don't leave the stage yet, Professor Hope. I want to invite Donna Muirhead, who worked with you on this project. She's no longer with the press, but she's always with the press and of the press, to present, turn it around, 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 turn it around. Just a small token celebrating Inner the Dance Hall at 20. The celebration belongs to the two Donnas.
So we did say this evening is not a quick lime, it's an event. And we are pivoting in just a bit. So I'm asking General B to stand by. You're coming up next, sir. No, the giveaways, I'm going to give you another answers. Which album did Bunny Strikely receive his last Grammy for? It was actually Coffee's Rapture. Yes, right? No, a question was in Prof. Hope's address. She actually gave one of the responses. I hope you're onto it. What is the size of Bunny Strikely's catalog? Over 11,000. Yes, that's it. So please come forward for your two VIP tickets. And I have one more question quickly for the last book from the treasure trove. And so the question is, name 3 schools that Prof. Hope attended. Yes, sir. Correct. Well done. Well done. And I love the audience. The audience is helping out. That's a good vibe. Excellent. Come forward, sir. I'm going to ask Dr. Howard to make the presentation to the winner. And come forward as well, ma'am, for your tickets. I also have another one as well for, I'm going to throw in another one. There is a book by Professor Cooper, mentioned several times by several speakers in this room this evening. It's a seminal, it's a book with, Jesus. All right. Come, Colleen. She win it. Okay, so hold on. The representative from the Bonnie Strikerley Museum will do the next presentation to Colleen. Okay, could you please give some love and support to those persons who are brave enough to participate? Well done. Now we have 2 activities to get done before we get on the way. Coming up next is General B, and we also have a King Jammy's special just before we move to the panel discussion. The next voice you'll hear after those performers will be the introduction of the panel by Dr. Candia Mitchell-Hall, who will be the moderator. So in that order, make them welcome. General B.
Hello. Good night. That one on him. This are the Do You Remember remix. Tune after tune, still it's after it's. And open it here and tune proper skip. This is Dancehall. Remember this? Name can't stop me from get Patricia. Name can't the mother nor the father. Name can't stop me from get Patricia. Me talk and talk. Remember this? Probably you never heard of me. Ah yes. Oh, probably you never heard of I'm going to get stop me play a role in a long time. Yeah, what a probably she never heard. And I get the monster no she fly well like a bird. And I making this a me high grade herb. She get what she did. A long time, me a one hour time up the time the end of it a navigator. Me had the mastermind for mess up girl art. And I got me mind about 190 song we do this episode. Who know the one? That one on name all them attack girl make them fret. Cause you don't know you are your man now left. You are fame wife, fame first time. At 90s dance, I don't know the one. Run it. To you look so good, your man no stop crying for you. Be a total road I carry feelings for you. And to you look so good that. Hear me man. One job. Yo, so man. Come and dance and no care. Now buy a Guinness and them now buy a beer. And true, them come with the whole crew. And in a pocket with gillies, them are true. Make all them screaming and I visit them back. Pull up. Yeah. Is that song? I want to be first number one. I own and it goes so. Sing, mommy, send Chiniki, go on. School me, Salama, Niki. Pull up that. Hey, say you never get work. Turn up with him. Miss Donna P. up. Anybody not like it, tell them go up. Yeah. Hey, turn up the rhythm so we can hear it. Cause I know the building's small. I want to make sure so the people might feel the energy. You know the song? Sing, mommy, send Chiniki, go on. School me, Salama, Niki, Ghana, man, yard. Anything the man say to Nikki do, oh Nikki she a go like you. Oh. The man say turn Nikki turn. The man say twist Nikki twist. The man say sit Nikki sit. Mix to Nikki now listen, now learn, now listen. So now go school she now learn. No, looking at book clean like whistle. Gone over man, ya got full up her. Acquainted it eckler, can't reject her. Mama will already say I want that me so reply. Send me Nikki go off school, Mr. Salaman. My Lord, anything the man said to Nikki, different track. Hold on there. I don't know whenever I acknowledge that King Jammys. My boss. Yeah. No, this is a legend. Me as the King Jam, but I never know him. I'm the present and the location. Yeah. Play a rhythm again. Sorry, big up yourself. Big up Dancehall Queen anywhere today. Jack Sour. Real recognize real. Who know that one? Mix some boy body in them. No pants and them, no shows. And can't defend. Pull up that again. Hey, the man. Sergeant, big up yourself. Good performance, youth. One Jack Sour. Style them. Mix some boy body in them. No pants and them, no shows. Can't defend the 10 time push come to shove. Them body in them, no hat and them, no shirt. Jack Sour, who pulled the one in them cock and a shirt. Big picture, see where kill play Lampert. This little toddler we used to go watch it. Oh, Miss Wolf, who full in front of the time they chill figure. Tell to the be but him a serial killer. To open and put him up on a whole pillar. Better you go and back a pillar. Well then, him a ta don't cook the boy to get paid. Mother buy to pay same cab. Hey, different track. Hey, it's the one here. Put up your one in our way, nobody close. First like a rose, picture take when you oppose. Flossing, be a question I ask. Which screw that? Then I pay. Me know you want wear, nobody close. First like a rose, picture take when you oppose. Flossing, more everybody sing me and say close. You have a thing when them close. Nobody eat them off you carry it. Can't bring it back if them tear it. Hey, put up that. Me know why you do not half key mix. Straight one drop. Me I get the audience them involved. Yeah. And more you turn it up. Proper one drop, more of them sing. Again. Put up your one, you know, here nobody close. First like a rose, Peter take when we oppose. Flossing. How we screw that and turn up the rhythm. Me now fear nobody close. First like a rose, Peter take when me oppose. Flossing, be one drop right or so. You have a thing when them close. Nobody eat them if you carry it. Can't bring it back if them tear it. Paman and friend them share it. Every other son of them wear the same. Big belly don't go with belly skin. Knock knee don't go with short. The sun too hot for the suit and leather. How she no be down put her clean. She have uptown clothes and downtown clothes. You have football clothes and decent clothes. You have basket clothes where you have the cheap clothes. But certain man wear the tightest. The one chance that she look good in her. Me say a rubbish I put in her. Who's ever just come out to him tear off. You remember when them chat ninja all time? Enough man rich but them now buy. Walk in a store take up and try. But you want borrow where you want my. Me not like man, me no weird guy. Time cool a fire, man stack up in her. Man a sell coke and all cock up in her. The dearest set a brand on the say black up in her. A girl cut a store and put a snack up in her. Security go sit and say you fat up in her. Pity him no know where she got up in her. Put up your one, you know wear nobody. I want me say this style here again. Put up your one. Oh, and Miss Hope. Yeah. Hey, hold on there. You know, say between me, I'm myself present on the stage. I'm going to bring few artists. Unfortunately, so you never get to perform. When I make myself present on the stage right now, because then call the name, and you're the outside, on that tree, I look on the girl and my you will walk past, and I know say your career. Yeah. Ready? Please call them people. When I have my time, I left my gap. Now in the space, I present to the camera as a selfish artist. This is talent.
Good night. In the dance hall. Right now, we're live. Anybody have a daughter or a young sibling or a son in the place? Just make some noise. For real. I wrote this one for my virgin daughter. She born the other day, December. You see what I say? May I sing it for you a cappella, go something like this.
And now I gotta have a payroll. 1 pound, 2 days old. Different colors in my crayon. What are you coloring my days for? Ain't molded out of Play-Doh. Really, you're all that I care for. Oh, silly me, a weirdo. Ain't no kidding when I say so. Daddy's gonna be there for you, baby, till the time says faded. Grave digging for me and I'm gone. May I clap now? It's a cruel cold world in the snow, though. Daddy's gonna be there for you, baby. Your mommy's home till the time says faded, faded, faded. It's a cruel cold world in the snow, so please don't grow up too fast, baby girl. You'll forever be my darling. And I'm always with you when you lost. Oh, please don't grow up too fast, baby girl. You'll forever be my darling. And I'm always with you when you lost.
Big up, big up, big up. Yo, song bad. I don't hear much thing we have to say, but I know it's a cool world, and that's the chorus, and it's very catching. Yeah. Emil Sai, present yourself for the stage. The next futuristic arts of people. The youth are the future, and plus you're very futuristic. That means you're visionable. Yeah.
Real, in a real life. 20 years in the dance hall. Donna P, big up yourself. King Jamids. Drop the rhythm. Jah guide me from the friend enemy, them when me can't see we close. Enemy we turn them in a ghost. Say, evil web. Flash on the pictures on the. All I have a bad experience, a friend. Can't go people close to you can do things, though. The expose, yeah. I know me enemy me afraid of. I this said friend them way a cheater. So mommy please don't cry. Them can't see me die. The whole of them a faker. Them can't make me run left the place, yeah. Mama please don't cry. Them can't see me die. It happened before, in front me eyes. Friend I kill friend and it don't feel right. See me a smile, me feel cut up inside. Friend I pray me life, I tell me fi pick. Afraid that the boy will turn betray ya. Afraid that demon girl the way ya play ya. If you diss me will step in a ya. Me will make it sing sweet like a Marrakera. Never want see whip on a level ya. Could we stop that deal that we're major? Sharp like razor, fake friend we stitch you like Taylor. Now we shock the world like Taser. I know me enemy me afraid of. I this said friend them we a traitor. So mommy please don't cry. Them can't see me die. The whole of them a faker. Them can't make me run left the place, yeah. Mama please don't cry. You know why mama not cry? We have people that count for we. Vampire we drink your blood Campari. Me have friends turn enemy used to call parry. Every move when me make now one me a star it. Me have me use them account for me. So tan they put to no goat mouth for me. Vampire we drink your blood Campari. Them a bring me for us Gar and Shari. Yeah, we a chat the righteous part. Them switchy light switch and them life cut short. What them a go do when time light touch dark? Me not afraid fi and an hype up talk. I know me enemy me afraid of. I this said friend them we a cheater. You know Saya represent though. Well active, General B.
Powerful message you would. And that's why I'm presenting anyway and feel good. Style, kind of what I say, at the closing part of our performance, I would have to give them even 5 minutes out of it. You know what I'm saying? I respect everybody who support Miss Donna P. Hope. Hard working female throughout the years, you know what I'm saying? So I say hard work and perseverance are the key to success. And them say you can't get stronger until you acknowledge a weak point and nothing at all what you do. I remember say a small mind subdued by misfortune, but a great mind rise above. We are doing, we are touch when we perform. We must play any rhythm big boss. I select a turn now King Akeem. Style them like I tell you know what I say. Respect to each and every individual. Jack, so pick up yourself again. No, I don't know what they to know. But you can't really read him play. I don't go late. Let's continue my journey. Ilan go late, I know to them right now. We're going to keep it last night, the trap. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep still with this. Yeah. Let them know that song. Yeah. King Thomas, big up yourself. Villa man, big up yourself. You have some taxi man on the road. Them don't know if you respect people. I want to look at them and tell them, say, who remember that song? Yeah? Sing, song. Yo, taxi man, give me a tata. Who want a tata, I'm off it if you go at Edgewater. My youth, me not carry stranger. But you're not going to know when your life are going in danger. Or say, you're not give me the tata. You don't want to carry me, but you want to carry the data. My youth, me not carry stranger. But you're not going to know when your life are going in. Me say, you see me and I know me, that's one thing. When me top here, I come out with me and I ramping. When I them day, you go pick up all the ranking. And if you escape, you go to different track again. Because the boss say, we have to cut it. One last thing I'll cut. You know what I'm saying? Turn it up. People, I'm a new singleist. That one I name. Now call me not done. Because I'm kill off the whole of them. Check. As a little boy, I go, me used to love the badness. Every corner, me go upon them, say, I did done this. And everywhere me go, me gonna brandish. In the long run, them sing the dance ship. No call me not done, know them calling done. Me no want be local, now foreign done. Police and pastor, them are carrying done. I want that me know, and a carrying done. No call me not done, know them calling done. Me no want be local, now foreign done. Police and civilian are carrying done. I want that me know, and a had that day, me go up on a hill where Brandon. See I'm gonna pass people shout out one. Try enter a building but it abandoned. Put him brain from me. Pull up that. What's the love to each and every individual. I'm last song boss, me close it like this. Somebody tell me how the country are run so. How they get to use them for not done so. Melissa come and wash where the whole are wrong so. Get a youth a dead level. Twitter get rougher. Tougher, but me not turn no coffee. Girl I get buffer, pick me I get no far. Man I send fi gun go far. Youth them a suffer, no youth na boss ya. Get to youth a cuss ya. One just pound a flower, but them hang miss a trust ya. Girl I bite the dust ya, bow down like Usher. Place I get worse ya, we gonna end up like Russia. Boy face a flusher, it all a shoes brusher. Time I get harder, going to draw card ya. Begin to turn a little girl when him go sadder. Prisoner kill the water, twin not take no harder. Every day the Rasta man a shaving at the barber. Man breeding daughter, see a shim rather. When the baby born, it call him father, grandfather. See it, everybody do it. Love you know. Yeah.
Dancehall Massive, General B. Please make welcome Dr. Michelle Hall, and she will take it from here.
Greetings, Dancehall Massive. Greetings, everyone. I am Dr. Candia Mitchell Hall, a colleague of the Dancehall Queen, Professor Donna Hope. I am quite pleased to moderate this panel discussion to celebrate Professor Hope's seminal text in the dancehall, power culture, and the politics of identity in Jamaica. It has already been established. It is late. The book is relevant today more than ever, as it sits at the intersection of conversations that we're still having, gender, sexuality, and violence, and it really plays an important role in how we understand identity politics in Jamaica and the struggles for cultural power. For tonight's theme, we're not just talking about music, because as Professor Hope has shown us, dancehall is more than music. We're talking about living cultural archive, repository of memory, music as a preserver and witness of culture, which documents Jamaican social life, identity, creativity, and struggles across time. It is in fact my honor to introduce this illustrious panel of cultural pioneers, practitioners, and cultural thinkers, cultural heavyweights, as we would say. We are really in the presence of greatness. I want to quickly, but not take up all of your time, to introduce our panelists. Lloyd King Jamie James. Well known, better known as King Jamie, a legendary Jamaican dub mixer and record producer. Please feel welcome to enter the podium and take your seat. Also, Amilcar Lewis, a firm believer in the value of documenting, curating, and preserving Jamaican music and culture. Please feel welcome. And of course, Sanjay Ramanan, a multifaceted Jamaican cultural practitioner whose work spans performance, media production, and cultural entrepreneurship and event development, and so much more. We can say producer of Magnum Kings and Queens of Dancehall. He is the owner of Bel Air 23, and so on and so forth. Sanjay, are you still here? Please feel welcome. And of course, last but certainly not least, the scholar for whom we have all gathered to commemorate and to celebrate, the queen of Inna the Dancehall, the remarkable and prolific Professor Donna Hope, and my colleague in the Institute of Caribbean Studies. So the panel is divided into 4 sections. And for our first section, we're trying to understand your personal positioning within the dancehall culture. I want to bring all of the panelists into this introductory question. We know that dancehall has shaped Jamaican culture for decades, and there are many theories out there on dancehall. Of course, before we dive into the theories, I want to understand where you are located, your grounding in relation to dancehall. So I want to know where you stand in the dance, essentially. From your vantage point, how do you step in the vibes as creator, as curator, or cultural worker? What is your connection to dancehall? I will start with King Jammy. Is it on? It's not on? Can we turn it on?
All right.
There it is.
Yes, Mike, yes. Yes, I heard you ask the question, what's my connection to dancehall? Well, I am the producer who, feedback, turn on the mic.
Keep talking.
Yes, Mike. Yes. Frequency, yeah, all right. Yes. As I was saying that I'm the producer who made the rhythm that initiated the first big dancehall hit. That's Under My Sling Thing. So that's my connection to dancehall. And I've been producing a lot of dancehall. All the artists, the young artists, I bust out the most young artists in a dancehall. From them time till this time, you know. So them call me the dancehall godfather.
Amilcar, your location to dancehall?
Yeah, you can reach. All right, greetings, I'm Amilcar Lewis. Well, my connection, or was it my what?
Your connection to dancehall.
My connection to dancehall is that I, myself and my family created a publication around 20 years ago, same way, called Backyard Magazine and backyard.com. And then from that, we created just a series of tours that we showcase Kingston through music. So we go to Rockers, Tough Gang, Jammies, Tubbies, all the places that people want to go and see. We created that, and it's come from the magazine. So that's my connection to dancehall.
Brilliant. Professor Hope?
I remain in the dancehall as a researcher, as a writer, as a teacher, as a scholar, and I suppose Emil as a guide, because I also have these field trips that sometimes we have like 3 coaster buses of people, not just students, who feel that I should guide them into these spaces at midnight and beyond, where they apparently feel safer, because I am an insider outsider. So I do a lot of things, and I'm grateful. And of course, I'm here at this University of the West Indies Mona campus, where I do my day job. Thank you.
Thank you. And Sanjay?
My day job.
Ultimately, I feel like I'm just a dancehall fan. I'm a professional, lifelong dancehall fan. And so, as a fan, we engage with the genre in as many different facets as we can. I'm an artist, firstly, and then, after doing that for many years and not making any money, you find other ways to, to accommodate. So then, we got into TV production. So, as mentioned earlier, I was one of the producers for Magnum Kings and Queens of Dancehall. From there, I know that TV don't last for long, so I figured I had to start a business. So I eventually made a dancehall themed guest house called Belle 23. And then from there, we got into events. So I have a weekly dance hall event called Dance_All Fridays, every Friday on Hagley Park Road. We also have a dance festival called Dancehall Mecca that we do twice a year. And we also have a dancehall queen competition called Queen of the Mecca, where women come from all over the world to compete every year. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. King Jammy, you've been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get your perspective on how dancehall has evolved through your lens. What are some of the changes that you see in the world of dancehall today?
Well, when dancehall first started, we had a different type of dancehall than what we have now. Those days, we used to have dancehall that people really dance in the dancehall with women. You know what I mean? So
we know what you mean.
Nowadays, you don't see much of that, people dancing, them dancing by themselves, So I think that the dancehall of the 80s and the 90s was a different dancehall from the younger generation dancehall that is going on now, in terms of lyrical contents and entertainment-wise. Dancing.
Is there anything that has changed significantly that you would wish had not changed?
Well, you must have changed in the business. I'm not bashing anything. We must have changed because I have a different generation come along. So you will have change, and you know what I mean? But I'm not up to every changes that I hear nowadays. But I won't comment on that,
We'll stay in the safe zone. Thank you. I got the answer. Panelists, we often hear the adage that dancehall is a mirror of the society, that dancehall is a reflection of Jamaican society. But as King Jammy once said a while ago, mirrors change sometimes. What exactly is dancehall reflecting today? Can we speak about this? And this question is for the panelists. What exactly is dancehall reflecting today?
Well,
Sanjay?
ever since it... Oh, Sanjay, you want to do it?
All of you. You want King Jammy's question too. Brilliant. Yes.
No, I was going to say that, well, dancehall is the voice of the people from ever since its inception. So, as you say, whatever reflects in society will reflect in the music. It depends on also the market that they're trying to get into, because people are more trying to understand the markets that they're trying to sell to, because before it was all about having fun and putting out there, but the music is a business, and the business, you have to sell music, and you have to sell records, you have to sell things. So for the most part, it's a reflection of society and what they're trying to put out to the world from here, because it's important to know how small relatively Jamaica is, and the market that what we actually have is massive, much larger than what we have as a people. We have like 2.8 million people, and then you have diaspora, that's an additional 2.8 million people if you're lucky. But you have people we are supply people in Brazil that are 300 million people. We have people in England that are next 50 odd million people. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of Japan and all that and things like that. So and Japan is 100 million people. So we have such a large voice. So we have our society that we're talking about, and then we try to reflect what's happening in the world as well. So it is the voice of the people, and then we have a large voice to expose to the world.
So our culture too, you know. The world love our culture too, you know.
Yeah,
everybody try to imitate it, you know what I mean? So
exactly.
Liquor rock. So that's how it go. We're big.
Awesome. Sanjay.
Sanjay.
Jamaica to the world.
So,
yes.
Oh, you skipped Donna. No, I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like my answer to this question is almost connected to the question, my answer for the question you asked King Jam is, one of the things that I wish didn't change so much was the authentic sound of dancehall. I feel like no, well, I mean, I don't want to sound like an old man up here, you know, because I actually love dancehall. I love it in all its shapes, sizes, and forms, and yeah, I love where it is now too. But one of the things I think is a little bit unfortunate is that I feel like we've evolved too much in the lane of somebody else's culture. Instead of, hold on, let me finish my time, let me think. Hold on. It's like, you know, I feel like dancehall could have evolved more in its own lane than evolving as much as it did in the lane of hip hop. And I think what's happening now, but I don't blame the youths them now, because at the end, this is the first generation that have the burden and the responsibility of consciously creating. Every generation of dancehall practitioners before them, we were insulated. Like, we had one TV station and maybe a handful of radio stations. So what we heard, what we created was what we grew up hearing, what we were hearing. That generation, yeah, them grew up, is the globalization generation. So to me, that is what the dancehall know, and to answer your current question, that is what dancehall know is reflecting, globalization. Because when you hear with the dancehall artists, them are sing about popping pills, that's not our culture. When you hear them sing about, and even some of the rhythms, them where you hear how they kick them drop, and that from dancehall make till now, dancehall has never dropped like that before. That's more how hip hop drop. So as I say, one thing I wish didn't change as much was the evolution in somebody else's cultural direction. But what I'm happy about now, when you look at some of the recent, like how Stephen the Genius just dropped the remake, the Hill and Gully rhythm, it almost seems like there's been a conscious effort to revive that aspect of our culture. So I'm happy about that.
Awesome.
All right. Remind me of the fulsome. Thanks, Sanjay, of the fulsome question again. Because, yes.
So we're asking about change and that mirror that dancehall reflects back from the society. What would you have hoped had not changed?
Honestly, because I have learned to balance on lava ground. So whatever is coming, I'm floating along with it like a surfer. And I think I am grateful for a lot of the changes now, because I talk about the democratization of access. More people have better access because the culture and the technology has changed. And so more people are able to, for example, have a voice and be seen than they were able to before, because of the kind of technologies that exist, whether they are going to be able to be seen through the digital projects, the YouTube, the TikTok, and also to have access to creating their sound. And so for me, it has exploded because of that. So the kind of barriers to access where you had limitations as to where, you have to find each producer. A lot of the guys back in the days used to be a producer, place a beg and a sweat, them ride up on the truck with the big box and carry the box them and sweat and bleed just to get to all a mic. They kind of have a different level of access, and so more people are able to be seen and heard. And I think for me that's very important in terms of what is happening. But when we talk about going to hip hop, for me I talk about something called reverse cross fertilization, because hip hop come from out, is we help to set up what is hip hop. I feel with something, when you look at the history with Grandmaster Flash, what they were doing in the Bronx and all of that, I feel with something help to see that our sound system, culture, cool herc, and so what I see coming is a kind of connection with the black popular cultures. When I'm in Europe, I remember being in Yam Club, and they have the 3 levels. There's one level where they play all of the black music, them in their minds, the hip hop, and the dancehall and the Afrobeat, they were all playing them on the same floor because in their minds in Berlin, in Germany, it is one motion. You see what I'm saying? And so they are connecting who we are as black people and Africans in the diaspora through this sound. So there is that connection where we are speaking back to ourselves who had gone somewhere else and come back in a different package. So I understand why they start sounding like pieces of themselves that in the past had gone over the waters. So I understand why they do that, because there's always been one motion in that regard. Many people want us to return, I think, Sanjay, to the earlier sounds, but technology has changed. The people, the lives that they are living has changed, and so we are going to sound different and move differently in the lives that we are living now. I mean, these things like these have become very important. And I mean, I was watching people here holding up their phones, going live, and I'm getting messages from people in Canada and in England and in Brazil who are watching the live that we are in now. It's a different world, and our spaces have expanded. So everything is changing. Probably we need to call it something different, Sanjay. Probably it's not dancehall anymore. Yeah, that's really what we should be looking at.
So what we have here, audience, is a wonderful debate and conversation. Two different sides of the coin, looking through the lens of dancehall. It's awesome, it's academic rigor. Professor Hope, I want to stay with you. You have argued that dancehall is repository. It is cultural text, it is cultural archive. What exactly is dancehall preserving? Is it memory? Is it identity, struggle, power? What is it?
From my research, it's doing many things at the same time. So it's not one thing. So it's not just about entertainment. And I think when I entered dancehall culture as a researcher and not as a fan, remember I was a fan in these places in, Club Jamaica and all of that. But when I entered this as a researcher and began to look critically, it was more than entertainment. So it was quarreling with the society, sharing desires of the people in dancehall. We want money and we want house on the hill, and we have to buy. Everybody, and a couple artists came up here and them talk about buy car for mama and house for mama. We want to live the good life as it is presented to us. What is the good life? And we ask for that money, lyrical money, materialistic themes. So what dancehall is doing is different things on different levels. So it is entertainment, yes, but it is also desire. It is identity. It is men telling you that me am more man because me have more woman. More woman like me, even though I may not take care of the children very well. But me are more man because they are more of a, and this is a way I can tell you that being a man is important because there's very little else for me to say through. So it is helping people to shape who they are and to spread ideas about who they are in a society where sometimes people are not given the same level of access. Because the system is stratified. Some people at the top, them have more, some people in the middle have a little bit less, and then at the bottom, a lot of people are still struggling to figure it out. So dancehall has opened a lot of opportunities for people to have a voice. So it's many things all at the same time, and we just have to listen critically depending on where we are coming from.
Wonderful. Amilcar, I want to come to you. So you mentioned that you have done work with the Backyard magazine and the Striker Lee Museum. I wanted to get your sense of how do you approach preserving culture that is as dynamic and fluid as dancehall. We heard it coming out of both Professor Hope's and Sanjay's response a while ago. It is dynamic, it is fluid. How do we preserve dancehall?
Well, I traffic in nostalgia. So, so basically, for me, it's everything I do with the magazine and the website is a time capsule. So we're trying to capture people at the moment, at that time, particular time, at a particular moment, and hopefully it's something that they can look back on and feel good. And for example, I would say that we catch artists normally on the way up. So we're on the way up, you give them a little feature, they look into the thing and they say, okay, this is what I was feeling at the time. And for example, I just see this. Yeah, the Staros cover that we did it at, we shot it at my mother's house and everything like that. And even when Staros see me now, him say, boy, give thanks to the first feature I ever get. The first time somebody look at me and say, yeah, I love what you do, we get a feature because we rate your music and that kind of thing. You can look on it now and say, this is what I was feeling at the time, this is the type of music I was doing at the time, and now I move forward, but I still remember these times. We had a dancer from the community, Sample 6, he came in the magazine, and luckily for him, when he went to the get his visa appointment, yeah, when he went to the visa appointment, him said, boy, he was a dancer, and people asked him, boy, you a dancer? I'm not really sure about that time. He said, no, man, see me in the magazine, and him get him, him get him visa because of it, and he used to call me and say, well, me come for committee, call me Ahmed because of the beard. Him say, Ahmed, you know, say me get me $50, me know, say me come, me go foreign, and me come back, me give thanks, he put in the magazine, you know, because that was at his moment at the time. Him always big me up because him say, you see what I do? We see what you come from Barbican, you're a Barbican youth. You see what doing them thing here? You give her a chance, put in the magazine, and it help me get my visa, help me get that thing there, so me can move forward in my life. So, and as a space in itself, when you come on to, we do reviews of the music and things like that, and in there we can actually look back and say, in this time period we have all these rhythms come out, these songs were good, these songs are classic, and it remains to this day, you know? So, that is how we preserve the culture, because we can actually look back on that, you know?
Professor Hope, this brings me to you. We've been talking about an archives, and for the online audience, what exactly is an archive? When we say that we might risk losing data, information on dancehall if it is not preserved, but what exactly is an archive?
Well, when I learned about archives at the beginning of my timeline learning things, I learned of it an archive as like a collection of artifacts, you know, like mainly it's something related to history. That's what I remember learning about an archive as, and it was a physical location usually where you go and look at things. But as we come forward, you understand that an archive is just different ways of recording and preserving for generations who are not present to generations who are present, so they have access to information. And it doesn't have to always be in a kind of hard product form. It can be digital, it can be oral. So we have a lot of different types of archives that we are building. And we also have archives that are not located in a building in that way. It's located online where people can access information and, you know, knowledge and historical as well as current knowledge about different areas, culturally or otherwise, that are important in society. So because of the reach of cyberspace now on the digital frontiers, a lot of us have begun to make sure that there is information made available and also accessible to individuals who have an interest in Jamaican culture. Jamaican culture is very, very attractive to people who don't live here, who don't speak our language. Lord, when you travel a foreign and them see, you know, the clothes, I wear a lot of Jamaican colors when I travel. I have on everything. And they stop you and they say, Bob Marley, Usain Bolt. That's it. Like, and Usain, and they're saying it in French and Spanish. And yet they're asking, they ask you about the culture and they ask you about ganja. Please forgive me, people. They ask you about ganja. I've been given a request to arrange for people to come to Jamaica and lie in a ganja field. Yes, Christine. I should arrange a tour. They're going to lie in a ganja field in the earth, because the ones that they know are hydroponic in these greenhouses. So I arranged it.
There's no police in here, I don't think so.
So dancehall is owned by who? Is it that dancehall is owned by Jamaicans? It's quite a controversial question I'm pushing now. Who owns dancehall? King Jammy. Who owns dancehall? The artists, the producers, the streets, the global market, the people, the diaspora, foreigners. Who owns dancehall?
Well, I would have to say Jamaican owned dancehall because it was created in Jamaica. A Jamaica it create, you know what I mean? And other places adapt. You know, it lead right up to other genres of music too. But really and truly, a Jamaica it originate, as far as I'm concerned.
Of course.
Yeah.
Naturally, and that's the whole answer.
Yeah.
That's it. Amilcar, do you wish to jump in?
Well, yeah, well, you know, Jamie, you can't ask a question like the Jamaica. I'm going to tell that answer. But yeah, as we create it, we have it here. We have, that's why it's important that we have all these archives. We have the museums, we have all these things to make sure that people know that when they come here, they can actually see and feel and understand where the thing coming from. Jamie is a big sound man, hyper, so that's a big part of how the music is spread, how dancehall is spread throughout the whole globe. So this is the things that we need to. This is I would say sound system is probably our local instrument that we push out the music to the world, and these are the things that we can use to archive and hold the music. I would say hold the music for ourselves and then put it out to the world, to make people understand that we own this, we keep this relevant, and we also have a good idea of how, I would say, we're coming from, where we can push it through,
Thank you.
There's one more thing I want to say. The name Dancehall, that was here long before the genre dancehall music, because back in the days when I used to ride my bicycle, go down at Foresters Hall and North Street and all of them dancehall at night time, just to go listen to my sound, Duke Reed. I was going to the dancehall to listen to those songs. So that was the name, dancehall, before the genre. The genre came in 1985 when the Sling Thing rhythm come out. That was the first big dancehall thing, and I don't know any other dancehall genre rhythm before that. So that to show that it's a long time the name dancehall originated in Jamaica.
Dancehall is deeply connected to the space.
Yes.
Sanjay, would you wish to weigh in?
I don't know what else I could add to that. That's an interesting question. It's kind of complicated too. Of course, Jamaica owned dancehall as the creators, but we've also created many other things that we don't own anymore, like the Panska. We're basically almost on the verge of losing reggae. We don't own reggae no more. Like Mattis Yahoo are probably the #1 selling reggae artist right now as a Jewish youth. So I don't know. It's an interesting question. We own a lot of. We own it. We own dancehall for now, and until as Donna said, this new thing sound like it deserves its own title as well too. So a little bit from now, we're gonna own that, and then we're probably gonna allow dancehall as well too, and then dancehall gonna probably be owned by somebody else at that time too. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I don't know what ownership of a genre really means or entitles. But we've had many genres that we've created and we don't own them no more. So
yeah.
That question vexes me all the time when they ask it. Because
we are sorry.
That question upset me because let me tell you why. The biggest reggae shows happen in Europe. Let me just make it clear. The most books have been written about any music product in Jamaica is about Bob Marley, and they are not, most of them are written by non-Jamaicans in all kind of language. I have edited a lot of manuscripts. None of them are from this side of the world. And those are things that are knowledge and that are being held in repositories. And I've watched dancehall, which I grew up dancing to, become a product that is all over the world. I've traveled all over the world and I see dancehall artists who are not Jamaican. I see dancehall products that bear these colors that I wear in my hand, the Jamaican colors, all over the world. People doing dances, people doing choreographies, people doing many things, and they are not from Jamaica, and the cultural creators are neither mentioned or authenticated. So I have a thing where I talk about indigenous versus authentic, because I have many sisters and brothers in dancehall now who are not from Jamaica, but they are creating various dancehall products, and we have to say it as it is. They have dancehall camps, they have dancehall products, they have dances, they have events, they have all kinds of things. Their native language is not ours, they don't look like us, but they are also authenticating dancehall in different ways. I say hashtag dancehall family. It has expanded. So who owns dancehall? The indigenous creators are here, but the authenticated creators and owners and producers are all over the world. And this is similar to other cultural forms that we have created, the dynamism and the organism, and it can move in different ways. So it's all over the world. So there's a huge community of dancehall people, the dancehall dance family, the dancehall queen family. They have dancehall queen, Alea and others. Some of them are on this thing. In the Philippines, in Australia, these are people in Asia, all over, in Egypt. Olga in Greece, Maggie in Berlin, these people, Joanna in Sweden. There's a whole lot of people all over the world, and they are dancehall people, and they are not Jamaican, and they are creating products and are producers of culture, and they come here all the time because, again, as King Jamie and Amilcar keeps reminding us, they love the culture bad, and all over the world it is respected and loved.
I'll stay with you. Awesome. You wanted to? Okay.
Oh no, I was just saying about Sanjay, and he's right about the scare situation, because we have so many people coming from all over the world to learn about the origins of ska, and I would tell them that nobody really plays ska anymore out here as younger people. We have ska festivals around the world, and people really going into the instruments of the place, of that space, I should say. And it's a shame, because it goes back to what we as Jamaicans put value to. I would say for the most part, a lot of Jamaicans don't really care about keeping the music for us. It's more like, okay, how much money we can make from this, how much money we can get from that. You know, we're not really trying to see how we can preserve these kind of things, because there's no reason why somebody should come from overseas and learn and know more about our culture than we, you know, and that happens all the time. And if you ask a person there, like, who is Lloyd Brevet, and they don't know who it is, but somebody from Maine can tell you who it is and understand which songs him play upon all them things. That shouldn't happen. You know, that should never happen as a country that lives off of the music. We should have, like, every Jamaican should at least know the origins of these genres, because they're our genres: mento, ska, reggae, dub, dancehall, everything. These are ours. Rocksteady, you know, sorry, I forget Rocksteady. Rocksteady is a big genre, but yeah, I mean, you have to understand these things. Them things that upset me more well, because obviously it's something that you can see why why, okay, say things move on as generations move on, but we should never move on, leave them things there. These things are ours as a country, which really put more thing in that, you know.
So I want to push the envelope a little bit further still. You mentioned, all of you, that dancehall is all over the world, but globalization appears to have threatened dancehall more than anything else. Has globalization diluted dancehall?
That's everybody?
Sanjay.
All right, Jamie. Yeah,
Maybe, you know, because, you know, some of the dancehall producers here in Jamaica, them incorporate other music into the dancehall. As Sandra was saying, so it kind of water down the real dancehall. You know what I mean? So if we did stay in our lane, as Sandra said, and deal with the dancehall thing, it wouldn't get watered down. You know, it would be just the original dancehall.
I like that answer. It's being watered down. It's not staying in its lane. Sanjay, what do you say? Who wants to go? Amilcar?
All right, remind me what the question is again.
The question was, has globalization diluted dancehall?
It's a hard
It's a tough question.
It's a tough question, because you know, globalization is the reason why, you know, dancehall has gone to that certain level where it is now. However, there is a thing where, as Sanjay and Mr. Jamie explained, is that you can go too far in trying to replicate a sound that is not ours. Hip-hop sound, even though hip-hop kind of should be ours too, in a sense, and whatever, but it's all about innovation. You know, the first man to make a car is not the only one making a car now. So dancehall is open to everybody to have the interpretation. For us as Jamaicans, we should always remember our roots, and I think that is the only thing that is really stopping that, because too many producers trying to sell out too quickly and not keeping the original sound and original thing going, because if they had stayed to that, they will sell out eventually, because there's no producer that can sit down and say them put out a song and they know it's going to be definitely going to be a hit. You put out songs and you hope and pray that people like it. And most of the time, when people like the thing, it's because it's authentic and it sound like dancehall. Everything else sound watered down. So what you going to do? You can try your best, but it not gonna work out sometime.
Yeah, I mean, I expressed my opinion about that earlier. I definitely think globalization has had a big impact on dancehall and the sound of dancehall. I feel like, I mean, my only thing is that dancehall has established itself as such a distinct sound worldwide that you even have Justin Bieber copying it and all these major pop Drake and all these major pop stars. So clearly there's something to it still. I feel like there's a way that it can be done in a contemporary way, which we've seen recently with, as I mentioned earlier, with the resurgence of some of these rhythms like Hill and Gully rhythm from Genius, Big Bounce rhythm from what name it, Zimmy. These are authentic dancehall drops, authentic dancehall sounds done in a contemporary way. No hip hop influence like that. This is what dancehall could sound like in the contemporary age right now. And those rhythms had massive impacts. They resonated massively in Jamaica. So it's not that there's not that lane or there's not that path that's possible to have a modern sounding era of dancehall. It's just like we said, globalization. Most of the people who are making music now grew up on cable and grew up on internet, and they're exposed to the machinery of America. They're exposed to the marketing machinery of America that no dancehall producer can compete with. When you think in terms of how to, there's no dancehall reggae Jamaican music label that has the marketing power of a Sony, of a Universal, so they're exporting their culture in a way that is influencing our creators. And that's why I said this generation have a responsibility that none of us had, because they have the responsibility of preservation of a sound, preservation of a culture. We were just making music. They now have to consciously say, yo, I could go back for a long time when I do a dancehall sound in rhythm, I could go back for the Hill and Gully rhythm. I could go back for them to, you know what I mean? They have to be consciously doing that. We never had that responsibility.
Yeah. So the younger
And I just want to say though, one of the things that is old, because I remember when in the early days when we were younger and they were doing rhythms, it was a few rhythms coming out. So you kind of we knew the rhythm by the first two songs. The first two, like Taxi Rhythm and Joyride, we know the rhythm. We just hear like a piece and we know the rhythm by heart. You see, nowadays, everybody a build rhythm. So what happens is that there's so much competition for your eyes and your ears in dancehall. Everything is over. So it's causing a lot of, there's a profusion of the production. It's a lot of it going out and people are chopping very quickly. That has also some of the challenges that we are facing with right now, because everybody has so much access that is a whole heap of something going on. Back in the days, you'd have a rhythm, like you say, Ilangoli rhythm, everybody run on it. Different rhythms coming out, some rhythms, everybody run on it, and you would know this is this rhythm. This is what is happening with the rhythm, and you could identify it, and all the artists would be on that rhythm. Nowadays, I've stopped trying to keep track of the rhythms that are coming out, because, and same way with the dance styles. We used to know certain dance styles. Now everybody's making a dance style because it's a market and it's competitive, and because of that, you have such a proliferation that it's difficult to keep track of it. And we're gonna have to wrap up, because we see questions, we have to wrap up and come up. But yes, absolutely. King Jamie wants to say something.
Yeah, you know, what I was going to say is that the rhythms nowadays, you know, you don't have enough melody to catch the people and move. You know, that is one of the things what those days dancehall is so excited, you know. As just about the rhythm. The rhythm was melodious. As I drop the beat, you know, it kind of triggers something and you just move right away. You know, but nowadays, as I said, the rhythm them is not danceable. You know, I'm not really. I don't know. You know, I mean, it's a different type of dance that we can do.
So, in 1
not
minute.
danceable to me.
Awesome. Each of you, in 1 minute, what would you say the future of dancehall look like? What would you say the future of dancehall look like in 1 minute, 30 seconds?
Well, the future of dancehall, I can't tell what it look like now, but I know if you have good producers, you know, who still have musical incline, you know, making rhythms and making songs, it would be great, you know, because we'd have some good songs coming out.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, the future, I mean, depends on how far in the future we're talking, but I see that I would say more access, more people coming up, more people, I guess, rallying back on rhythms that have worked in the past and sounds that work in the past, and expanding upon that. So, as we're talking about these things now, the water down is these things are cycles. So, for the most part, I think that more people going back to a sound that worked in the past. You might hear some people link back some mental, some ska sound and all them thing there, to try and catch back that kind of vibe. Because again, whatever sells is what is important for the music business. And if you're not selling, you have to go try something else. You know, so that's what's happening.
Thank you, Professor Hope.
For me, dancehall is at an end stage, and we're looking almost into the belly of a new music form, and we have been there for some time. And I think that is what is happening right now, where people going back to sounds that are coming from like Kumina Men to all of that, you know, Hilangoli Ride. What we know as dancehall as a sound and even as a culture is changing and has changed, but we have not yet decided to name it something else. So they're calling it trap dancehall and all of that. But there's a difference in how people are presenting themselves and the music, and so we are looking at a kind of end stage. We're coming to that, and hopefully we'll be able to name it adequately. But for now, we're still calling it dancehall. But it has changed, and it will continue to change until we decide to name it, the culture and the sound for what it is. The lyrics remain similar, but the sound and the cultural activity has changed, and we have to be brave enough to begin to look forward to seeing what will come out of this period.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what everybody on the panel just said a while ago. I feel like the future of dancehall is very fluid. You know what I mean? It's very evolving, it's ever changing, and it's always representative of the Jamaican experience. You know what I mean? The world is changing, you know what I mean? And Jamaica and dancehall is changing with it, and we're adapting and we're expressing ourselves from our unique perspective. Yeah.
Awesome. So this was such a great panel. Dancehall is not something that you just listen to. It's something that is lived, remembered, and of course preserved and carried forward. Do we have any questions at this time? Comments, at least one or two. It is late in the night, but we will take one or two from. Yes. Is there a microphone that can go all the way there? Thank you very much. Another comment or question very quickly right here in the middle. Yes. Well done. And lastly, yes?
All right, so Surflexers here. Surflexers, who knows Surflexers? Surflexers are the artists who used to manage by the most honorable Oliver Barty great works. Surflexers artists who
Thank you.
This reflects as it's stillborn. Yes, stillborn. Respect. Thank you. That's a good way to put it. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. This was an excellent panel. And moderator, chair, I return the mic on back to you.
Wow, credit to the persons who have stood the time. It shows that truly you are fans of dancehall. So there is refreshments provided. So I wanted to take comfort in that. We want to begin by expressing our deepest appreciation to Professor Donna Hope, whose visionary work made this gathering possible. Your scholarship has not only shaped academic discourse, Prof, it has affirmed the cultural legitimacy of a space that many once misunderstood. To our keynote speaker, Professor Carlin Cooper, thank you for your powerful insights and your continued role in amplifying Caribbean voices. We extend heartfelt thanks to all our presenters, panelists, contributors, scholars, cultural practitioners, industry voices. And we cannot forget the performers who we saw this evening, because while we've been engaging in intellect, you remind us that dancehall has not only been studied, it must be felt. You brought the living archive to life in a way no text alone could ever do. To our partners and supporters, including the UA Press, the Institute of Caribbean Studies, and the Faculty of Humanities and Education, we thank you for your continued commitment to Caribbean knowledge production and cultural scholarship. At this point, allow me to extend very special acknowledgements to the team behind the scenes, the individuals and groups whose work ensured that tonight moved from concept to reality. Special thanks to the Dean for the Faculty of Humanities and Education, Dr. Diane Edwards-Carr, as well as to Mrs. Judith Simpson for spearheading the faculty resources. We also want to acknowledge Jack Sowa, dancehall videographer, and Q of Q Dazzle Photographs, as well, along with our media houses who helped to capture and amplify this moment. Our sincere appreciation to Mrs. Headley and the Social Welfare Canteen team for catering, and to Bryant Fletcher for providing seamless streaming services. We thank Stryker Jr. from the Stryker Lee Museum for contributing prizes, and also extend gratitude to Tanya Francis, Camille Robinson of Hot Off the Press, and Bertland Hope for their support. We acknowledge the Institute of Caribbean Studies team, including Radhika Myers and Geraldine Hofong, along with the director Dave Goss, as well as, of course, Dennis Howard, who brought greetings on the behalf of Dr. Goss for their leadership and coordination. Students, for those who are here, audience, thank you. Events like these will only come alive because your presence, your energy, and your willingness to engage. So, please stay with us for cocktails and the book signing. It's happening outside because in true Jamaican fashion, the conversation will really end. It moved to the food stall. Good night, safe travels. Blessings.
And thank you, Roger, for moderating with excellence and, of course, taking us through the evening's proceedings. Thank you so much. Thank you, indeed. Thank you.
Screen went dark at noon, then the room got tense. You tap the side of it like that would make sense. The remote was innocent, the cord was acting proud. You called one name, one fix and said it out loud. When the picture slips and the sound runs thin, you know the call to bring it back again. Fletcher's IT Solutions TV. Fletcher's IT Solutions TV.